All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Lal, and we are going to begin with our state all-purpose calendar. This is a misdemeanor calendar with the State Court of Fulton County. Most of these misdemeanor cases have been accused, bonds have been set, and today we're going to get a status of the cases in terms of how they would like to move forward. If you're a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offense, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Is it Miss Vigiletti? No.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who are you beginning with?
We're going to start with position 3, Stuart Franklin.
Okay. And those were your announcements, and that's going to be a possible non-negotiated plea. Would that be correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Let's get this calendar here. Stuart Franklin, State versus Franklin, is cited or accused of driving while license suspended and failure to obey traffic signals and signs. Accusation 24 CR 484Y. Mr. Stewart, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Vigiletti. And may I place you under oath in the event we go to a plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. And what do you have for Mr. Vigiletti? Excuse me, Mr.
Since,
Franklin this morning?
well, since it's potentially a non-negotiated plea, I think we need to let pretrial read the history.
Okay. Is it Ms. Tyson or?
Yes.
Yes. Good morning.
Good
Okay.
morning. Let's see. Mr. Franklin, he has 9 arrest cycles beginning in 2010. He has 4 prior driving while license suspended or revoked. Let's see. 1 in 2021, 2017. I'm sorry. Yep, 2017, 2014, and 2011. He does have a felony conviction out of Gwinnett County for identity theft, fraud when using or possessing identifying info. That disposition date is May 3rd of 2022, and he received 3 years probation on that case.
Thank
He
you.
has a total of 2 violations of probation.
Okay, and Your Honor, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different from what's on the calendar. I see that it says 45 days, but I would recommend 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance, it should be probated with a $1,000 fine. Of course, no driving without a valid license, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Count 2 can be time served or run concurrent to count 1.
So it was balance probated with a $1,000 fine and no driving.
Yeah, without a valid license. So I'm wishing.
And yeah, count 2 mergers. Okay. All right, Ms. Vigiletti.
Well, Judge, Mr. Walker actually just addressed exactly what we were going to negotiate today. Originally, the offer had additional jail time, and we were going to discuss the possibility of this being a time served plea. So with this amended offer, Mr. Franklin would like to accept the offer as recommended, and we just ask that you accept the recommendation, Judge.
Are there any other open cases with regards to Mr. Franklin, Ms. Tyson, or Mr. Walker that you're aware of?
Let's see.
I'm not sure because my Odyssey, I can't pull up anything pretty much in Odyssey. The only thing that looks like that may be pending, he may have a hold. I just can't confirm it out of Sewanee. That's the only thing.
Yes, Judge, well, he does have a hold, and that was going to be why I asked for the time served so that Mr. Franklin can be released to his hold and get his legal matters taken care of quickly.
All right. And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Franklin, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
1 second. So what's the
Mute your screen, please, if you want to keep it confidential.
sorry, Judge Law. Mr. Franklin has had a change of heart since we spoke yesterday. Because he does already have another probation issue, he is wondering if it's possible to serve jail time on this
Yep.
case.
Oh, jail time. Yeah, it'll be the rest of the 12 months, I think.
So the offer would be 12 months of jail. Mr. Franklin is happy to accept the original offer as we discussed this morning.
And he does understand that if he has any future arrests for any type of offense, I'm authorizing probation to revoke this probation and have him arrested and brought back to serve out the rest of the jail time, the probation time. I mean, there are going to be no more excuses.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as I was saying, Mr. Franklin, do you understand the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney services?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering a plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Or is anyone inducing you or forcing you to take this plea today?
No, ma'am.
If you decide to plead guilty to this charge, this would be another conviction for driving with suspended license on your record. And in addition to that, you would have to expressly waive your right to contest these charges in a court of law. You would have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury to be able to have the assistance of your attorney to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence and witnesses brought before you, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
No, ma'am.
All right, then in that case, it will be a not guilty plea and the case will be scheduled for trial.
So what she was asking you.
I'm sorry, Ms. Vigilante, you're on mute, please.
I'm sorry, Judge. Mr. Franklin just was confused by the wording of the question.
No problem. Let me rephrase then. Mr. Franklin, if you decide to plead guilty, you would have to waive your constitutional right to go back to court and have a trial in front of a judge or jury. You will not be able to confront your accuser. You will not be able to challenge the evidence that's brought against you. You will not be able to have the assistance of an attorney to present any arguments or defenses you may choose to do so. And you also would have to waive your right to have the prosecution carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of driving while license suspended or revoked?
Guilty.
Your failure to obey traffic signs will merge into count one. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 32 days. Credit for time served, 16 days. Once you are released from your hold in the other pending case, you shall report immediately to the Fulton County Probation Office at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. The probation office is open on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You must report on the first available business day as soon as you're released from your other open case, and you must report before 3 p.m. While you're on probation, you shall pay a $1,000 fine, and you shall report to probation every month until the remainder of the 12 months is completed. You are not to operate any motor vehicle or any licensed vehicle unless you have a valid driver's license, adequate insurance, and proper registration. You must show your valid driver's license and registration and proof of insurance to your probation officer before you get the green light to operate a motor vehicle. You cannot operate a motor vehicle until your probation officer has actually certified that he or she has seen these 3 documents. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a notorious record of blatantly disregarding the licensing laws of the state. And this is the first time I'm requiring probation to verify that you, as a driver, have all these requirements before you're authorized to drive a vehicle. Thank you. Next case, Ms. Vigiletti.
Next, y'all, is gonna be, hey, good morning, Judge Law. This is Officer Norris.
Good morning, sir.
All right, we're gonna go to position number 11, Mr. Turner.
All right. Is he in the courtroom or the jail court? Kenesia Turner?
Good morning, Your Honor. That's Nigel Turner.
Nigel. Okay, yes, sir. Sorry about that. And is this Mr. McLean's client?
Yes, Judge, Mr. McLean has called in sick today, so all of the clients will be with me.
All right. This is Mr. Turner with case number 24CR475G, accused of criminal trespass from January 23rd, 2024. Mr. Turner has been advised of his right to remain silent, and his attorney at the present time is Ms. Vigiletti. This case was reset from January 26th, 2024 C calendar, so he's been in custody for about 2 weeks. How are we proceeding today?
Yes, Judge, we'd like to discuss the possibility of a non-negotiated plea today.
Have you discussed all right, so you've received the state's offer and you're ready to proceed?
Yes, we spoke this morning.
All right. Mr. Graham, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. And before we begin, Ms. Tyson, may I have Mr. Turner's GCIC? Position 11.
Mr. Turner. He has 13 arrest cycles beginning in 2016. He has a felony conviction for robbery out of DeKalb County. Looks like January 2019. He's received 1 year confinement, 2 years probation on that case. We have a misdemeanor simple assault out of Atlanta in 2018. Not sure. Looks like there's a possible theft by taking. There's no disposition listed on GCIC from 2021. And let's see, not sure if this is open either. It's a possession and use of drug-related objects in a criminal trespass from July of 2022. He has a failure to appear from 2023. Another open theft by services from August of 2023. And his last arrest was September 15th of 2023 in Dunwoody for criminal trespass, possession and use of drug-related objects, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and possession, display, use, identification of another without consent, first offense. There's no disposition listed for that case either, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Mr. Graham, what's the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a 12 month, serve 34 days, credit for time served 17 days. That's starting from January 23rd to today. Balance probated, stay away from the Morningside by Windsor Apartments located at 1845 Piedmont Avenue Northeast.
That was to serve 24 days?
Serve 34 days.
34 days, okay. Credit for time served 17 days.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Vigiletti?
Yes, Judge, I'm just explaining to Mr. Turner that because the jail gives 2 for 1 here, 34 days credit for time served, 17 days is time served. Okay. I just wanted to discuss today the possibility, Judge, of perhaps suspending Mr. Turner's probation or putting it on a non-reporting status. I spoke with Mr. Turner this morning, and he recently joined the PAD program. They do have a bed for him at Salvation Army. And as you can tell from his record, he is a person who needs some extra support, which he is getting that support. So in light of that, I would just like to ask that Mr. Turner's probation be suspended or put on a non-reporting status.
Yes, Your Honor. The PAD program has finally found emergency housing, emergency placement for me at the
Okay.
Salvation Army. If you could, please, Your Honor, I beg of you.
Mr. Graham, any comment about probation being suspended or
Um,
non-reporting?
Your Honor, the state has no objection, if that's what you're inclined.
No, I have no inclination one way or another. I'm
Okay.
listening to both sides.
I mean, I think, as far as a non-reporting status or a balance suspended, the state has no objection.
All right. Considering that Mr. Turner has got a significant arrest record with many infractions just in the last few years, I'm going to require him to report to probation for the first 3 months. That would be for the months of February, March, and April. After April, if he has maintained a good record and has not been arrested, then his probation may convert to non-reporting. He may, of course, use the resources of PAD, but in any event, if he does get arrested within the next 90 days, his probation will be revoked and he will have to come back and serve the rest of the time in prison.
Understand.
All right. Is that something your client would like to consider, Ms. Vigiletti?
Yes, Judge.
I do understand, Your Honor, and I do, accept, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry. All right, Ms. Vigiletti, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do.
Right, Mr. Turner, I don't know if I placed him under oath. I don't think I have. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Mr. Turner, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, not at all.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take a plea today?
Not at all, Your Honor.
If you decide to plead guilty to this charge of criminal trespass, you would have to give up your constitutional right to have a trial. You will not be able to confront your accuser, to have the assistance of counsel, to challenge the evidence brought against you, provide your own defenses or arguments, and have the state try to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
I am, Your Honor. I do understand. I do, consent to giving up these rights, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of criminal trespass?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 34 days, credit for time served 17 days. The balance will be probated. You will stay away 200 yards away from the entire apartment complex called Morningside at Windsor. And I know I wrote the address down somewhere.
1845 Piedmont.
Yes, that would be correct. 1845 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. If you return to that location, you will be arrested, and that will be considered a probation violation. And probation is authorized to revoke your probation and have you serve out the rest of the year in prison. Furthermore, you will report to probation for the months of February, March, and April. If you've maintained a good record and you've not had any violations or any arrests, then your probation may convert to non-reporting. However, you'll still be required to stay 200 yards away from the location identified as Morningside at Windsor. That concludes this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Graham.
Next, Your Honor, I'm gonna go to position 12, 13, and 14. Mr. Quentin Wells.
What's it? Judge, this is Mr. McLean's client who I have not spoken with yet. Could we recess for a moment so I can speak with him?
We can definitely recess, but let's address the other cases that you have first.
Okay.
I have no one else in courtroom too, Your Honor.
Oh, there was someone at jail court iPhone. Did they leave?
I don't know if we probably needed to use the restroom. I'm not-
Yeah. All right. A jail court iPhone? All right. Looks like they may have stepped away. Ms. Vigiletti, just mute your screen and you can go ahead and confer with that gentleman, was it Welch? Yeah, Mr. Quentin Welch. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in a brief recess until Ms. Vigiletti is ready to return. Okay. Miss Casey Strong, we can pause recording okay, until we resume. Thank you.